You weren't supposed to overhear that conversation. You weren't supposed to see that message. You weren't supposed to walk into that room at that exact moment. But you did. And the second you did, something irreversible shifted in the spiritual realm. That wasn't coincidence. That wasn't bad luck. That was divine orchestration. God pulled back the veil so you could see exactly who they really are, exactly what they've been saying behind your back, exactly how deep the betrayal runs. And the moment you heard those words, the moment you saw that truth, heaven's courtroom opened, not for you, for them. Because when a chosen one is betrayed, lied about, sabotaged, or attacked, the Most High doesn't just watch. He intervenes. And intervention doesn't mean comfort. It means justice. It means spiritual consequences. It means the scales balance, whether anyone on earth believes it or not. You were meant to hear that conversation, because what is coming next isn't just about you knowing the truth. It's about them facing it. Listen carefully. Divine intervention in cases of betrayal is not common. It's reserved. It's rare. It's spiritually significant. The universe doesn't shift for every broken friendship or workplace tension. But when a chosen one, someone carrying assignment, anointing, purpose, spiritual authority, is deliberately harmed by someone they trusted, someone they loved, someone they invested in, the spiritual atmosphere changes. Heaven doesn't ignore it. Angels don't overlook it. God Himself takes personal interest. Why? Because you're not just another person. You're marked. You're set apart. You carry something that threatens darkness. And when darkness uses people close to you to wound you, sabotage you, slander you, or break you, it crosses a line. Not a human line, a divine one. That's when cosmic justice activates. That's when spiritual laws engage. That's when the seen and unseen realms align to bring balance. And balance doesn't mean everyone gets a second chance. It means everyone gets exactly what they've sown. This isn't about revenge. This is about righteousness. This is about divine order. This is about God defending what He's building through you. Think back to the moment you found out. Think back to what you felt. Shock, betrayal, disbelief, maybe even rage. But then something else happened. Something quieter, something deeper. You made a choice, a moral decision, a spiritual decision. You chose not to retaliate. You chose not to expose them publicly, even though you could have. You chose not to curse them, ruin them, or destroy their reputation, even though they tried to destroy yours. You stayed silent, not because you were weak, not because you were scared, but because something inside you, something ancient, something holy whispered, "Let me handle this." And you obeyed. That decision wasn't small. That decision wasn't passive. That decision was the most powerful thing you could have done. Because in that moment, you handed the situation over to the only judge who sees everything, knows everything, and rules with perfect justice. You stepped back, and God stepped forward. That's when the shift happened. That's when the spiritual gears began to turn. That's when heaven began to move on your behalf. What you don't know is that your response was being watched, not just by God, not just by angels assigned to you, but by dark forces too. Demons that orchestrated the betrayal through those people were waiting to see if you'd break, if you'd curse, if you'd lose faith, if you'd become bitter, vengeful, or spiritually compromised. Because if you did, they'd have legal access to you. But you didn't. You stayed clean. You stayed covered. You stayed in faith. And the moment you did, darkness lost its case. The accusations fell silent. The assignment against you collapsed. And divine protection intensified around you like a fortress. On the other side, heaven's witnesses recorded your restraint, your obedience, your trust. And that record became evidence. Evidence that you are exactly who God says you are. Evidence that you can be trusted with more. Evidence that you deserve vindication, restoration, and elevation. Both realms saw your response. and both realms are now responding. Let me show you what's been happening while you've been silent. Remember when they publicly discredited you and you said nothing? Heaven noted that. Remember when they took credit for your work and you let it go? Angels recorded it. Remember when they turned people against you with lies and you refused to defend yourself? God saw that. Remember when they mocked your faith, questioned your character, spread rumors about your integrity, and you still chose peace over warfare? That was tested. Every single time you had the opportunity to strike back and didn't, you passed a spiritual exam. Every time you had evidence to destroy them and chose mercy instead, you proved your readiness. Every time you were provoked and stayed calm, you demonstrated divine alignment. You didn't realize it, but you were being trained, refined, elevated. While they thought they were winning, you were ascending. While they celebrated your silence, heaven was preparing your vindication. You weren't being weak. You were being weaponized by God Himself. Now the divine courtroom is in session. And it's not a metaphor. In the spiritual realm, there are courts, there are records, there are verdicts. And when a chosen one is wronged, heaven opens the case. Every lie they told about you, documented. Every manipulation they used against you, filed as evidence. Every plot they made in secret, recorded by angelic witnesses. Every tear you cried in private, collected in heavenly vials. God doesn't miss anything. And now, the verdict is being issued. Spiritual consequences are beginning to unfold. Not because you prayed for it, not because you cursed them, but because divine law demands balance. What they did to you in secret is being exposed in public. What they stole from you spiritually is being removed from them naturally. The peace they destroyed in your life is being stripped from theirs. The favor they tried to block over you is now lifting off of them. You may not see it immediately, but it's happening right now, in the unseen. And soon, it will manifest in the seen. This is not about you getting revenge. This is about God getting glory. You need to understand something. You are not like everyone else. You are marked. You are chosen. You are spiritually recognized in realms most people don't even believe exist. Demons know your name. Angels guard your path. Hell fears your assignment. Heaven celebrates your obedience. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to be understood by everyone. You were always meant to stand out, stand alone, and stand firm. And because of that, you have enemies you never chose. People who smile in your face while cursing you behind your back. People who pretend to support you while secretly sabotaging you. People who were sent to distract you, delay you, or destroy you. But here's what they didn't know. You're untouchable when you're in alignment. You're unstoppable when you're obedient. You're dangerous when you trust God more than you fear people. That conversation you overheard, that wasn't accidental. That was God showing you who not to trust anymore. That was divine protection, disguised as painful revelation. And now comes the part they didn't see coming. Elevation, restoration, supernatural favor. Doors they said would never open are swinging wide. Opportunities they said you didn't deserve are being handed to you. People they said would never respect you are now honoring you. Resources they said you'd never have are flowing toward you. Peace they said you'd never feel again is flooding your life. It's not luck, it's alignment, it's consequence. It's divine order. While they were busy tearing you down, God was busy building you up. While they were spreading lies, God was spreading your influence. While they were plotting your downfall, God was planning your comeback. And it's not just a comeback, it's a catapult. You're not going back to where you were. You're going higher than you've ever been. And they're going to watch it happen. Not because you're petty, but because God's glory requires witnesses. You're about to walk in a level of favor that confuses your enemies and silences your critics. And all you had to do was stay faithful. So here's what you do now. You stand firm. You stay silent where God tells you to be silent. You speak where He tells you to speak. You don't chase closure from people who owe you apologies. You don't beg for understanding from people who chose misunderstanding. You let God fight. You let heaven move. You let divine justice unfold. And you prepare yourself for what's coming next, because it's bigger than you think. If this message resonates with your spirit, if you know you were meant to hear this right now, type 777 in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. Share this with another chosen one who needs to hear it. And stay spiritually alert, because the conversation you overheard was just the beginning. What God is about to do next will leave no doubt about who you are and whose you are. The shift is already happening. The vindication is already in motion. And your enemies? They're about to learn what it costs to come against someone heaven is protecting. Stand firm. Your season is here.